Ever roasted coffee at home? Or did you know that unroasted coffee beans are green? Hi, my name is Dana. I'm here to share with you my home coffee roasting experience. If you haven't ever done roasting coffee at home, you probably experienced what I have experienced. That is to roast in a small pot, in a medium pot or big pot, in a small fry pan, medium fry pan, or a big fry pan, or even a cast iron skillet, or even in your oven. And I have tried something probably you have never thought of, that is to roast coffee in sand. I have literally collected sand from my local beach to roast my coffee, and also I have roasted coffee in a lot of salt. After trying all this method, I'm still not satisfied. It's still producing, even if it can produce a very even roast, it's taking way too long. Some of my roasts takes more than an hour, or even more than 1.5 hours, and eventually they are burned. And my best my best roasts are around 15 or 20 minutes, but still it's so uneven until I developed and found out the following method, which I'm going to share with you. And before I share with you my method, I'm just going to share with you the beans that I just roasted before I start making this video. So these beans are Granda, Arabica, from green beans, and so this is a lighter roast. You can see the color is much lighter, and because of some difficulties, I do have some burned beans, but both of these are produced under 6 minutes, including preheating time. Yes, you have heard me correctly. These are under 6 minutes. So the general color is acceptable, but it is more uneven, and there are some defects like this, burnt, which I will later on pick out. But I'm totally satisfied with my second roast. And look at the color. It is slightly darker. I would say this is medium light or medium, maybe even medium. And there is no burned beans at all. There's just no scorching, no tipping. It's just totally even, very nice. And they are so developed. As you can see, the raw beans are this size and how much they've grown. And just to give it more sample, this is the unroasted and this is the roasted. And yeah, they're just so well developed. I'm very happy with the color. I'm going to cup it tomorrow, not today. So stay tuned with my video tomorrow to check the taste of my home roasting. And now I'm going to show you my whole process of getting these beans roasted. The first thing you want to do is to wait out your beans. I'm using Veronica Arabica beans. And here's my secret weapon, which is a metal basket, which I purchased from Bunnings. And you have to use the scale to weight. I'm using just 70 gram. Because I have to shake the basket the whole time, and if I put too much, it will be less even, as well as I could not move it if you have more muscle, feel happy to try a bigger batch. So here, just show you the beans, the green beans. Okay, here, put on the barbecue. To do it outside, it really has a lot of advantage. So I'm using just the gas barbecue in my garden. And you can use a gas stove, I guess, an outdoor camping stove, which you can get just for like around $25. And to do it outside can reduce the smoke and also because there are a lot of chaff coming out, you don't want to do it indoor so that the chaff will get everywhere and make such a mess. Okay, the angle of this shot is not good, but you can probably still see it. Just continue to move the beans. And you probably know this already, but I just repeat. First, just going through a drying phase, you will have to smell, you can smell hay or dry grass. And slowly it's going to develop. And the color will turn into white and yellowish, so that marks the completion of the drying phase. As you can see at this stage, a lot of chaff are also coming out from the basket. I'm using both hands sometimes. I'm using one hand or change it into two directions, I guess. Well, instead of spending thousands of dollars on a coffee roaster, saving that $1,000, probably you have to put in some effort from your muscle. So as you can see, this already started the caramelization, and you see the color of the coffee already turned brown, and at this stage I think it's already cracked. Reached the first crack, and I'm just doing a little bit longer. I noticed in this roast that the first crack appeared quite early, but that's not a real sign of first crack. A real sign of first crack will be several consecutive cracking sound, popping sound, instead of just one singular at an earlier stage. I think this is probably 5 minutes into the roast. As you can see, it's almost done and the color is quite dark already. So this is the first batch, which I showed you earlier. Has a little bit more defect. As you see, I didn't quite manipulate the distance from the gas fire very well. So I have noticed that I burned some beans, and so this is the first batch. Now let's have a look at the second batch, which I'm much more happy with. And I got a better angle to show you. So also just shake it using single hand, both hands, just shake it as much as you can. And so very fastly it's developing, and it's quite even. Probably there's one or two smaller one that got a darker color, otherwise it's very even roasted. And the first crack is, when it reaches the first crack, it's almost ready. So I probably roasted another half a minute into the first half a minute or 1 minute into the first crack. And there's no burn or whatever. And as you can see that in the beginning, I try to roast as fast as I can by having the basket quite close to the fire. And once it reaches the second crack, you wanna move away a little bit just so the inner bean temperature can catch up with the outer bean temperature. However, you can't move away too far because then the temperature will drop too, and the beans will not be properly roasted. I hope you find this video helpful and try it at your own home and share with me how is your own result. And come back to my next video and to check out the taste of these beans.